I don't know if you're up to date, but I never meant to become a Paris influencer, and I kind of struggle with that title.
I just really, really love this city. How could you not? Look at these reveals.
That is a reveal that I used to point out a lot when I was a bike tour guide, way back in the day. It's also very windy down here. Sorry if the audio quality drops as a result. I have a lot of memories from this place. That bar right there, gonna be in my book. How do you not come to this city and fall deeply in love? That's my question. With the city specifically. I fall in love with somebody, but I fell in love with this place.
What is this? Just drove by a bunch of people on headsets down here. It's like a techno rave.
I guess you can go see 2,000 years of Paris history from under the bridge, which is kind of cool. The VR experience that they did for Notre Dame was good. And if you, I don't know, I love that. This is on topic, I guess. I didn't know today was going to be a love letter to Paris, but I'm just feeling a little bit mushy for some reason. And I love doing the deep dives in the history of the city, and I feel so ignorant every time I do. I learned so much. Can't recommend that thing because I've never done it before. Maybe we'll give it a try. If you're interested in knowing more about it, let me know. See if we can't take them up, and I can let you know if I like that one as much as I like the Notre Dame one. No Cooper on my back today. Sorry for those of you that are unsubscribing immediately once you realize that. So we've come to a spot that I've never been. Oh, he's inside. To meet somebody that you might know, to do a little interview. And I don't think he knows what he's in for, to be honest. Hey. Bonjour.
Yeah, that's kind of like my little toy.
You didn't tell me that was part of the game.
Of course I'm not going to tell you that part. What is it? Okay, when you first moved here to Paris, we just did a little interview 25-ish years ago.
Yeah.
Did you imagine that you would end up becoming the gold standard of Parisian influencer?
No, but now I feel really old.
What's it like, man?
What was interesting was when I moved here, well, I wanted to write for magazines in America. I thought, I'm living in Paris. I'm going to write about, these different places I'm finding that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to write about all the places everybody else is talking about.
Yeah.
So I started finding there were all these chocolatiers, there were young people, little food shops, and nobody was talking about them. So I didn't have a filter because I had a blog. I could do whatever I wanted. So I started writing about them.
Yeah.
And I always say it was a win-win-win situation, three-way. It was win for people coming to Paris because they'd find places, or people who lived here.
Yep.
It was like people would discover places. There wasn't a lot of ways to discover them. We didn't have social media back then.
Yeah.
It was a win for the business. I'd go into businesses, they're like, who are you at first? And then I'd come back and they're like, oh, we had all these people come.
Yeah.
Thank you. And they were very appreciative. And it was a win for me because I was able to continue working. I had my blog. Now I have a newsletter, but I was, it made me feel like I was doing something here.
Yeah.
So.
I actually really resonate with that story.
Yeah, you're doing the same thing.
I feel very similar because I feel one of the struggles. So we were talking a little bit at
You
dinner.
exist because of me.
I exist because of you. You paved
And
the
it's
way.
time for some payment. Pay back.
There you go. Would you like some baguette?
Yeah.
Because when I came here, I felt that very much too. People put expectations on me for why aren't you talking about blank?
Yeah.
And why don't you love the same things I love? And it had nothing to do with what I was actually finding here. And I felt like that was an uphill battle for a long time just to share what I was finding and loving.
Well, even today it's kind of interesting, and I don't want to be the person that complains about influencers. No.
Please do.
But I'm seeing a lot of people that don't live here, and they're going to the same places that they're told they're supposed to go to, and they're talking about it and eating there and maybe getting paid to eat there, which is whatever.
Yep.
I don't, it's fine.
Make your money.
But what you want to do is send people to good places, places that you like or that you think they're going to like, and you want them to trust your opinion. So if you send somebody somewhere, it better be good, because if I go there and I go, Jay Swanson is an idiot.
This is why I wish that David never found out I existed, because I know that day is coming.
Yeah. I'm gonna start scrutinizing it.
trolling
No, but
me.
authentic information I
Yeah.
think is really important.
Yeah.
Especially in a city like Paris where there's so many people visiting.
Yes.
And so many, you go to the Eiffel Tower and people are posing in front of it with these fake sets.
Yeah.
And once again, I don't want to complain about people because everyone's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just more interesting to come to a place like this and see like real Paris and go to the wine bar and have a glass of wine
Absolutely.
and oysters or coffee and get yelled at by the controller. For
Absolutely, yeah.
littering.
Oh, he's gone. I can drop it from the ground. Perfect. Once I slipped while running in a little patch of oil on the street right here. Almost died. Anyways, I don't get behind Notre Dame enough. Let's go take a look at this really quick. There's a guy fishing over here too. I know it's a weird thing to say that I didn't mean to be a Paris influencer, but that's not what I came here for. And I think some people might kind of see it as a tragedy that I've lived here in the city of love, as they say, for 9 years. And I have not myself fallen in love with a woman, but I have fallen only more deeply in love with this city. And that is true. It's something that's matured over time. I used to say that like there's this honeymoon phase of living in Paris where like everything is great and you don't see the the blemishes. Then there's that period where you have to deal with the admin and it can crush it. A lot of people quit when they realize how hard it is to live here. But if you stick with it, I think this is true of the French, not just Paris as a city, but French culture. Once they realize that you're here to stay and that your goal is to contribute something, to learn and to grow, and to maybe add a little bit of something in the midst of it, it becomes a very welcoming place and ends up giving you far more than you could ever give it. And that is the exact opposite of a tragedy. It's looking very nice. Cannot wait for all that scaffolding and the construction stuff to be gone. That park, I kind of, as weird as it is, I miss that little park. It's so cute and nice. I'm supposed to be taking a break before this event, and I've basically encircled the city. Well, that was great. Definitely the first time I've ever been invited to a purse event or a handbag event. Nick, phenomenal, really nice guy. I met him before. I did not know that he's connected to this. The Hood, if ladies or gentlemen, if you want to buy your lady something, or if you're a guy that's just into purses, I mean, that's fine too. These are really, really cool. Apparently Taylor Swift carries them and a bunch of other ladies wear them. But the Hood is doing like a personalized shopping experience. It's a really interesting collab with Nick, the designer of Aupen, the purses. If you'd like to come in and get some paired tastiness, he curated his own menu of some of his favorite things here at the Hood, which is a Singaporean restaurant in the 11th that I've loved and recommended for a decade now, pretty much. The 9 years that I've spent in Paris. If you want to come swing by, go check out the showroom that they've got upstairs. He's here in Paris designing these bags with a connection back to Singapore. And you could walk out with one of the there's even a pandan bag, like a green one that's designed after pandan. If you don't know what pandan is, you need to come in and order it. It is delicious. Anyways, thanks to Dan Brechbiel and all my patrons for making this possible. Dan, I don't know if you're into purses, but you should definitely come check this out. Anyway, Fashion Week. I haven't been invited to a Fashion Week event in a few years. I'm not usually the Fashion Week guy, but hey, it was fun. And I will see you bright and early one of these mornings soon, early next week, in glorious Paris in spring. Thanks for watching.